For years, I acted like time was unlimited. I tell myself, I'll do that someday. I'll start that business someday. I'll learn that skill someday. Meanwhile, my days disappeared into work, sleep, repeat cycles. I kept putting off the things that actually mattered, thinking I had all the time in the world. Then I realized something that changed everything. The average person has about 4,000 weeks on this earth, and I've already lived through about 1,600 of them, gone forever. So I thought it'd be interesting to share in this video the most powerful strategies that will help you make the most of your days and stop living with regret. These aren't productivity tips. They're the exact methods that helped me transform from someone who constantly said someday to someone who actually made things happen. Whether you want to build a business, pursue a passion project, or just stop feeling like life is passing you by, these strategies will help you get there. Number 1, align your money to match your life choices. I started on the graduate program at one of the world's largest investment banks, and for 9 years, every single move I made was about advancing my career and doing it in a way that allowed for better pay. Here's what I learned the hard way. If you're deeply unhappy, dissatisfied, or feel like there's a misalignment, the next milestone isn't going to fix that. I know this because I lived it. I kept thinking, when I get the next promotion or when I hit 6 figures, I'll be happy. But even when those milestones came, the happiness didn't. I was making the same mistake most people make. I was doing it backwards. Most people think they need to make more money first, then they'll be able to live the life they want. But actually, you need to figure out what kind of life you want to live first, then work towards structuring your finances around that, even if it takes time. For me, it was getting to a place where I could quit my job and pursue my passion project. Maybe for you, that's having the freedom to travel, finding ways to work remotely so you can spend more time with your family, or having enough saved up so you can take creative risks without worrying about the next month's bills. It's about understanding what you're actually working towards and making intentional choices with your money, whatever your starting point. I just did a podcast on the Diary of a CEO where I shared the exact 5 steps I took to align my money with my life choices, including the very first and most uncomfortable conversation I had to have with myself about what I was really working towards. I'll leave a link here and below in the description if you want to check it out after this video. Number 2. Make the 8-year-old you and the 80-year-old you happy. I recently came across a thread on Instagram from a profile called Die With No Regrets or something like that, and it really changed the way I think about life. It said that there are only 2 people whose pride should truly matter to you, and it's not your parents, friends, mentors, or partner. It's the 8-year-old you, who is full of dreams, and the 80-year-old you, who is full of memories. Both of them are sitting in you right now. The 8-year-old is hoping and waiting to see if you'll chase the dreams you once believed in. They just want to see you take some risks and have the courage to go after what makes you happy. Then there's the 80-year-old you, who's lived through everything, looks back on it all, and knows how quickly it goes by. They don't care about accolades or impressing other people. They just want you to have a good time, slow down, live, laugh, love, and fully embrace the life you have today because those moments won't last forever. Seeing that made me realize that at different points in my life, I'm either forgetting the 8-year-old or the 80-year-old. So now, every few months I ask myself, am I making them both happy? When I'm stuck in decision paralysis about taking a risk, I think about my 8-year-old self. Would they be proud that I'm going after something that excites me, or disappointed that I'm playing it safe again? When I catch myself getting too caught up in work stress or what other people think, I think about my 80-year-old self. Are they looking back and thinking, I'm glad you worried about that deadline, or I wish you had just enjoyed that moment? It's become my compass for making decisions because when both of them can look at you with pride, you know you're doing something right. Number 3. Stop treating reversible decisions like permanent ones. I heard this for the first time when speaking to Steven on the Diary of a CEO, and it completely changed how I think about decisions. He mentioned that there are 2 types of decisions and how you should approach them differently. There are Type 1 decisions, which are consequential and irreversible, one-way doors. Things like having a baby, buying a house, or making a major health decision. These decisions need to be made with a lot of thought and made slowly. If you walk through that door and don't like what you see on the other side, you can't easily get back to where you were before. Then there are Type 2 decisions, which are changeable and reversible, two-way doors. Things like trying a new hobby, moving to a different city, changing your routine, or even switching careers. If you've made a suboptimal type 2 decision, you don't have to live with the consequences for long. You can reopen the door and go back through. That's all well and good, but most of us treat type 2 decisions like they're type 1. We agonize over choices that, later, we realize are completely reversible. When I quit my job, I thought at the time that it was irreversible. I convinced myself that no one would ever give me a job again in banking because I had this online profile and that I had just committed corporate career suicide. But that wasn't the case at all. Even today, I keep in touch with some of my ex-colleagues, and that door is open despite me almost convincing myself otherwise. So many people think, should I start that project? Should I take that trip? Should I learn a new skill? These feel like huge, life-altering decisions, but they're not. Here's a snippet from the podcast for anyone who's on the fence. So many people spend 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of their life standing in front of a type 2 decision, a door they could walk back through if they're wrong. It's such a crazy shame not to make those type 2 decisions at speed if they're reversible. 95% of the time when I ask someone that question, they respond, yeah, I could go back to investment banking if I was wrong. I'm like, go do the violin thing then. Go mess up, fail. It might work out, whatever, but come back here if you can. If you're feeling trapped in any area of your life, ask yourself, is this actually a type 1 decision, or am I treating a type 2 decision as a type 1? You probably have more options than you think. Number 4, protect your energy like your most valuable asset. Most people think about managing their time or money, but completely ignore managing their energy. Here's the thing, you can have all the time in the world, but if you're constantly drained or empty, none of it matters. Your energy is finite, and unlike time, it's not equally distributed throughout your day. You have peak energy times and low energy times. So, start auditing and paying attention to what gives you energy versus what takes it away. Maybe it's certain types of work, people, environments, or even thoughts and habits. I realized that complaining drained my energy. Scrolling social media drained my energy. Being around judgmental people drained my energy. But creating something new, having deep, vulnerable, meaningful conversations, and learning new skills gave me a lot of energy. That makes me feel very alive today. When you start protecting your energy, everything else becomes smoother and easier. You make better decisions, you're more creative, you're more present with the people you care about, and you actually enjoy life and the things you're doing instead of dreading everything. Number 5, slow down time. You might be thinking, how on earth do you slow down time? Actually, you can, not in reality, but you can change the way time feels. Let me explain. When you were a kid, summer holidays felt long and endless. A single day could feel like a week because everything was new. You were constantly experiencing things for the first time, learning, exploring, and being surprised. But as an adult, routine makes time fly by. You wake up, check your phone, commute the same route, do the same job, watch the same shows, and go to bed. Before you know it, weeks blur into months, and months blur into years. This isn't just in your head. There's actually a reason for this. Your brain measures time by recording new experiences. As a kid, you're constantly recording new experiences and learning things for the first time. But as an adult, when you're stuck in a cycle or routine, these new experiences stop happening. You're living life on autopilot, so your brain stops recording new things, and autopilot makes time disappear. The solution is to introduce novelty into your daily life. Break up the routine. Learn something new, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Have a different conversation with someone who doesn't seem like someone you'd have anything in common with. Take a different route to work. Read about a topic you know nothing about. When you actively seek out new experiences, even tiny ones, time starts to slow down again. Your brain has more unique memories to file away, which makes life feel fuller and longer. The goal is to break the monotony that makes the years disappear. That's it. 5 strategies to make sure you make the most out of the life you have on this earth. This is a bit of a deeper video than most of my personal finance videos, largely inspired by the experience and conversation I had on the Diary of a CEO. I'll leave that episode linked here for you to watch.